People always want to know if they can have a food or not. That is, they want a yes or no answer of can they have bread, or can they have honey, or can they have bacon? And I think it's really useful to understand or think about your diet much like a budget. And that just like I can't tell you what to do with your financial budget, I can't tell you whether or not you have the money for a car or furniture. I can't tell you whether or not you can afford, let's say, the bread or the bacon or the honey without seeing all of the specifics of your budget. So let's go through this example. So you probably know there's a certain number of calories you can eat to maintain your weight. If you eat more calories than that, you gain weight. If you eat less calories than that, you lose weight. And so you can think about calories as the currency for your weight. But most people don't care just about their weight. You know, they've got that number on the scale, but they want to make sure that those pounds are made up of mostly muscle and not a lot of fat. So you can think about the currency for your body composition are the macronutrients. That is, how are these calories divided into protein, carbohydrate, and fat? So in my daily nutrition budget example up here, my total budget for my weight is 2,200 calories, and that's divided into 125 grams of protein, 235 grams of carbohydrate, and 85 grams of fat. Now, just like you probably have non-negotiables in your financial budget, I also consider that there are non-negotiables in your nutrition budget, especially when we're looking at specific health, weight, performance goals. So your non-negotiables in your financial budget are probably like rent and utilities and stuff like that. Where here, what I believe are the non-negotiables are the 800 gram challenge and hitting a protein target. So we have to budget for those. Now, I've done the 800 gram challenge enough that when the fruits and veggies I pick to hit my 800 grams, although this is pretty standard for a lot of people, that's about 400 calories and about 10 grams of protein and 100 grams of carbohydrate. To get the remaining amount of protein, I've got 115 to go, I actually have to eat about 800 calories because, as you can see, I've got carbohydrate and fat in those protein sources. Why? Might be yogurt with some protein. Might be yogurt with some carbohydrates. I don't always eat like fat-free chicken breasts, so there's gonna be some fat. So once I account for these items, what I have left in my daily budget is about 1,000 calories. That's coming from 100 grams of carbohydrate and 66 grams of fat to spend on other things. Now, if you've done the math on these numbers, there's a little bit of rounding, so they're not totally perfect, but close enough for our purposes. So this is what I have left. And so if I was asking myself the question, can I have bread? Yeah, I can have 1,000 calories of it. Or can I have bacon? Sure, 1,000 calories. It's a lot of bacon, 1,000 calories of bacon. Now, it turns out I don't actually get 1,000 calories for these fun foods or total discretionary calories. Why? To make this palatable, to make your fruits and veggies and meat palatable, you often are spending a few other calories. For example, cooking oils or cooking fats, sauces, salad dressings, maybe there's a wrap or something. And so what I often find is that my discretionary calories come down to about 500 on the day. So can I have bread? Sure, I can have 500 calories of it. Or maybe I decide to spend my 500 calorie budget on 250 calories on bread and 250 calories on bacon. You get the idea. Now, here's the deal. These aren't your numbers. Those are my numbers, specific to me. And these numbers change based on age, sex, genetics, activity level, what foods you choose. And so there's so many different things in here that I can't tell you whether or not you have 500 discretionary calories or not. And so when somebody comes to me and they say, can I have bread or can I have bacon? I can't answer that question specifically because I don't know your budget. I don't know if you're at 2,200 or 3,200 or 4,000. I don't know the macronutrients that you get. And I also don't know how much you've spent that day. So whether or not you can have bread or how much bread you can have comes down to your daily budget. I will say this, that generally people aren't really good at knowing how much they're eating in these other calories. I said that I end up having about 500 kind of discretionary other calories. People don't realize how quickly or how easily it is to eat 500 calories, let's say when you're finishing food off your child's plate or having a snack at the office when it's open, or these healthy snacks like veggie chips, or maybe you had a protein bar that was really tasty. These calories end up getting spent really quickly. And so what I find in most people's diets is that when they're asking these what about questions, they're typically about items that are higher in carbs and fat. And so generally the answer for most people is that they're going to have to watch their consumption or limit that consumption because they don't have as much of a budget as they'd like.